Everything is broken, and nothing's going right.
Hello and welcome to Basement Fodder, the only show whose hosts are currently starring in an amazing webcomic from Legacy Rising Publications. Read The Basement of Doom on Facebook. I'm Todd.
I'm Dave. It's awesome. Read it.
We're only 2 weeks in, but it's awesome.
It's good.
Speaking of 2 weeks, boy, it's been fucking forever since we recorded.
Uh-huh.
And this is mostly my fault, I have to say, because I started working full-time again recently, and I'm on third shift, and I sleep a lot now. And you know me, I never slept much before.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a very big change for me
It's
to
like,
be
hey,
like...
one of those, like, I'm out.
I didn't realize it, but I'm checking right before we started recording. The last time we recorded was Sexapalooza, and that was 24 days ago. So we're way fucking late. It's been crazy busy and like just been unable to fucking do much other than sleep and get shit done. But it's been really great though. Yeah. Like I can't complain at all.
I mean, we're also gearing up for Lexington.
Yeah.
And
packing
moving
up
and
moving a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah. So it's a very chaotic time. So y'all motherfuckers can just deal.
Yeah, I just
in the best of ways.
I'm gonna mute this conversation that never shuts the hell up. I'm gonna tell you, my digital nerdage peeps, I love you guys so much.
Y'all just never shut up.
You guys never fucking shut up. I love being in that chat.
But you all
guys,
never shut up.
My phone's like ting, ting, ting all motherfucking day and night. And like, if I've got my browser open, I love you guys. Shut up.
I'll be laying here and nobody is in the house. It's just me. And I'm hearing the fucking laptop going off like bang. But I'm like, I've been here in like a week. You told me that fucking thing's still. Oh, shit.
No, it's been really rewarding to get back to work. Like I was very afraid, to be honest. Like I didn't talk about it too much, but like it was daunting to do it. But I've hit it's been a month now.
I was saying, you were out for quite a while.
10 years. I hadn't worked a full-time job in 10 years. Like I started working part-time about last summer, the end of last summer.
Yeah,
and that's different. Like that's 20 hours a week or something. That's not really much. Yeah. Like that's just enough to get your foot back in the door.
It's enough to be annoying.
Plus, it was working in a fucking shithole gas station, which sucked.
Yeah.
This is back in my own field. Back to the thing that I did before I took early retirement, as it were.
Yeah.
But no, it's been really great. I met a lot of great new people. The place I work at is really great. I won't talk about it too much because you never want to do that kind of thing. You don't want to get it out there too much, or I don't want to fuck up my job or anything like that. So, but I enjoy it quite a bit. This has been a time. This last year has been a big time of changes for us. Like as far as we're moving still, looking around here, like this probably is one of the last shows that we'll get to record down here.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's torn apart. Posters are down. Figures are gone off the shelves. Not all of them because I'm lazy and haven't got it done yet. But
the other posters are just falling off now.
Other posters are just falling off. Like it's like Urban Decay or something. It's like walking like the post-apocalyptic basement of doom.
Yeah.
But so much has been going on. We just we're doing all this moving, and I'm not going to say too much about this because it's not something that is a lot of fun. Yes.
No, I'm just going to some sweet ass.
Sweet ass. Not something that's a lot of fun or funny or anything like that, but a lot of people have asked me what's going on in the last year or so and like why we're moving and all that stuff, and so I just want to quickly get it out there, and then that's the end of it for right now.
We're getting married!
I wish we were, in a weird way. I just said that out loud, didn't I?
Yeah.
We kind of... Dude, we're a little married already.
Oh, God, yeah, right.
I know, I love it.
God.
No, but...
Not purely romantic, platonical, don't ever let your penis get near my penis kind of way. We're out of married.
It's okay if they occupy the same room, just nowhere near each other.
Just not out and wagging in the same general direction.
No, but
it's not gay in a three-way.
Those of you who are listening to the early years of the show, you probably remember not Dave. My wife, she did some fill-ins for you back in the day before you moved down here, when you weren't as accessible as far as that goes. She's a great person, and we're still friends, hopefully. But unfortunately, we are getting divorced.
Calling it splitsies.
Yeah. It's always a sad time. This is my second one, unfortunately.
Oh god.
Yeah. We gotta pepper in some gas to make it funny for the folks out there.
Yeah.
I don't want to like
divorce burp fart.
Divorce is hilarious.
Ah.
I have nothing but respect for her, and I know we're both a lot happier without each other. Unfortunately,
I mean,
she's always going to be a part of my life because we have a daughter together.
Yeah,
and
the basement baby.
she knows, and she did me proud. Like
More like the basement preteen.
yes, the basement preteen
Preteen.
diddler of doom. She did me proud. Like I really was afraid of how she would react, but she did me proud. Like she just kind of took it in stride, and you know, kids are perceptive. They know when you're not happy.
Yeah.
And she could see that her mom and I were both happier apart. So,
Yeah.
But as far as like the contribution to the show, I can never say enough to what Not Dave's done for the show. Like we wouldn't have a lot of logos, we wouldn't have had a lot of posters, I would never have done this probably if not for her influence and your influence. Like you guys pushed me to do it, and this show would not exist without her.
Yeah.
She went above and beyond in a lot of ways, and though we don't get along and though we're not together anymore, I respect her, and I'll always be thankful for her that she helped us get to where we are.
Yeah.
And she's always been a steadfast supporter of the show, no matter how bad our relationship may have gotten.
You suck. Show okay.
As is her brother, and you know, I feel good about the way our lives are going, like in the direction that we're going.
Yeah, because like the way you described the first one, it was like one of those.
Yeah.
It was like shit, back to square.
My first
one.
ex-wife, I hate her so bad. Like I wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire.
I'm sure the feelings
I
mutual.
would like trickle kerosene all over her. Like I'd seriously, but no, I don't have any ill feelings towards Not Dave. We just are not.
I still remember that time
compatible.
we were at that Asian place where you saw her, and I've never. It was a combination of I hate you, but I'm hiding because I don't want to actually deal with you.
I literally ran out of a Meyer so I wouldn't have to deal with her one time. No, but it's a positive move, and I'm a lot happier, and I feel free, and she's I'm sure a lot happier too.
Do you believe you can fly?
No, because I'm fat and uncoordinated.
I've never seen an albatross.
But it's been a busy time. We just did the Jim and Dan show last weekend.
Yep.
That was a hell of a lot of fun. I tell you what, I have to give a shout out to Pack Rat Comics.
Oh yeah,
because we talked about this a few months ago when this actually happened. But Pack Rat was amazing enough to just donate literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like at least I think we counted at least like $2,000 worth of stuff to us for the game that we do at conventions.
Yeah.
And we absolutely fucking killed at Jim and Dan's. Like it was our highest number we've ever done on the game, and it was amazing. We literally almost ran out of prizes.
Yeah,
which has never happened.
Yeah, we're gonna have to reevaluate and plan some more stuff because the stuff that they gave us that we chose to take to the show
went
over really well. Not to mention this Jim and Dan show was just
a great show.
It was a great show.
Oh wow! Like huge shout out to Jim and Dan because they did put on the Right State gig venue, now. The venue is really great.
Yeah. Aaron and I, Aaron from Roma, were talking about this. That this is probably one of the really good ones. This is usually this time of the year. February, January, March.
Because everybody's itching to get started again.
Yeah, it's that breaking. You're just right behind the gate. Con season's about to happen. This is your first little And the weather was nice enough.
Oh yeah, it wasn't fuck Ohio, because it was 65 degrees all week, and then the weekend hit and it's nope, cold, fuck you.
Saturday it's 30, rain, snow mixture, and then Sunday it warmed up just a little bit and the sun was out. There was no rain or anything, and this is what I had said. I was like, if this happens, this could be the best thing for us, because Saturday will be shitty and everybody will be trapped inside. Then Sunday will show up and it'll be just nice enough, no really bad weather, and everybody will be like, let's get out. It's Sunday. True. It's just nice enough, but it's not so nice that we don't want to just say fuck it and hang outside. Yeah. It's cool enough we want to go inside somewhere. And man, they had a really good showing.
It was hopping.
It was hopping, and not to mention that, but I mean, it was a good crowd base of people that were there to spend money. That weren't just I'm a poor broke schmo, just wanting to look around. I mean, you always have those, but I mean, there was, all the people I was talking with, man, people were out to shop. We're out to spend. I guess, they had been saving up some money over the
Oh yeah,
crappy
absolutely.
winter.
One guy told me, I think it was when you were off. One guy told us that he spent like $600 while he was there.
Mm-hmm. There was a guy that was like there specifically to buy specific like comic artwork from the 60s and 70s, and like the numbers that he was throwing around, like he was there to spend money.
Oh yeah,
like just. And I know people that were there for buy figures were buying figures like up into the hundreds, 200s range and stuff. Like it was really good,
But this Jim and Dan show is an awesome one for us too, because we always it's the one where we get to see our friends from Roma again, because the con gap happened, from before. Like it was the November was the last Jim and Dan's, and it goes all the way to February, and that's basically the last con we usually end up doing for the year.
Yeah.
And we got to see our friends from Roma, and they have a lot of exciting stuff going on right now.
Roma had just got a deal set up, and I believe actually when we were looking at their Facebook, they just started receiving them. But Roma will actually be one of your official retailers for Boss Fight, which, if you guys might remember these figures, they were the really awesome Greek mythology. They had like the skeleton Greek warriors, the Spartans, the serpent guys, like the Gorgon looking people.
Yeah, there's 6 series right now. They're called, the series itself is called Vitruvian Hacks.
Yeah,
and it's a G.I. Joe kind of scale, like a 3.75-ish sort of scale. And they're insanely detailed figures. Insanely
detailed, insanely customizable.
Yes,
really good. And I had asked him about this, like when we were there, he showed me the stuff so I could see what figures they were getting, and it's a good lineup, a really good lineup, really good color choices, a lot of good like weapons and accessories. And my thing was like, because we love the Four Horsemen designs, but in reality those bastards
they're extremely expensive.
They're expensive
and
super frail
like
the old series was. The new series I don't know. But I asked him about that. I was like, okay, how is it package-wise? Like, do I need to get out, like, surgical scissors to cut the thing out of its package without breaking anything? He's like, no, these are meant to be played with, to be positioned and everything. And he said they're good. So if you guys go to the Roma page, check it out. If it's something you guys are very much into, like if you like the fantasy, mythology figures and stuff, Roma's got them, and they're going to be at Lexington next week, or 2 weeks, 2 weekends, yeah.
Speaking of that, God, we're so close on Lexington.
Yeah, it's like we're nipping at my heels. It's right there.
It is March 10th through the 12th. Once again, we're lucky enough to be covering it as press, and and the doorbell's ringing because my daughter's annoying friend is coming to ask her to go outside and play.
Tell her to not ring the doorbell.
Awesome. But it's a big show. We're excited to be press again. I'm going, Dave's going, the Basement Beast is joining us this year for her first ever Lexington, so she's very excited about that.
May or may not have a 4th show up, it depends.
Entirely possible. We never know.
You never know.
But they've got a hell of a lineup. They're doing a little mini Clerks reunion. Now, of course, Kevin Smith is going to be at the Jay and Silent Bob Get Old podcast on Friday night, but he's not actually going to be at the con itself, unfortunately. But Jay Muse is there. Marilyn Gigliotti, who is Veronica in Clerks, is also going to be there. The Chuli's Gum guy is going to be there. Dante is going to be there. That's going to be huge for the you guys who are big Clerks fans. Robin Lord Taylor, if you guys are fans of Gotham, which God knows I'm not, he's going to be there. The $6 Million Man himself, Lee Majors, is going to be there. That's kind of a really exciting one for the children of the 70s. And for me, too, actually, because when I grew up in the 80s, he was the Fall Guy, and I watched the fuck out of that show. I still listen to the Fall Guy theme song occasionally, which he actually sang himself. My man, Michael Rooker, Yondu, Merle Dixon, the fucking pimp of the century. Would you like a chocolate-covered pretzel? Fucking Merle is going to be there. I love Michael Rooker. The guy's a pimp. I would love to get just close enough to see him.
And that's the beauty. At Lexington, you can.
Yes, and that's what I love about Lexington.
Yeah. Wizard World, you can barely catch a glimpse of these motherfuckers.
The lovely Jewel State from Firefly is going to be there. She's gorgeous and amazing. We've seen her before. She was at, Origins a few years ago when we were there.
Was it Origins or was it...
I swear it was Origins.
Cincinnati.
It was either Cincinnati or Origins. It might have been both, because I know she was at one of the Origins too.
Yeah.
The Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Oh, how excited is Todd about this? Usually it's a struggle for me to decide if I'm going to pay for an autograph or pay for a picture or whatever. The second I learned Ric Flair was going to be there, that picture is happening.
Yeah.
And I would probably blubber like a fat bitch.
For you guys that watch like Luke Cage or Sons of Anarchy, Theo Rossi's going to be there. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. He's a really good actor.
This one's an exciting one for me.
Oh, yeah.
Sean Wesley Shipp, the original Flash, and of course Jay Garrick on
from
Flash
Earth
show
3,
currently from Earth 3.
Yeah,
I'm hugely excited about that. I'd love to meet him. Gates McFadden from Star Trek, of course. Dr. Beverly Crusher is going to be there. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, Seth Gilliam, who's Father Gabriel Stokes on there. Actually, a very good actor. That's kind of when I stopped watching Walking Dead, is right in the season that he got in.
Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Sugar.
That's true. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Jeremy Bullock, who is Boba Fett, they're also doing the Bounty Hunters reunion. Yeah. If you're a Babylon 5 fan, not only is Bruce Boxleitner going to be there, but Claudia Christian is also going to be there too. Let's see, Zach Callison, who's the voice of Steven Universe on Steven Universe, the worst character on the show, but still he's cool. The voice of Goku.
Oh yeah, Sean
Schemmel is going to be there. Steve Bloom, who's voiced so many things.
Oh god, yeah.
He's the voice of Grunt in Mass Effect. He's the voice of Wolverine in most of those animated series that they've done and video games. Just so many, to even count.
This is one that I'm excited for on the wrestling front. It's me. It's DDP.
Diamond Dallas Page, the master of YRG, is going to be there. I'm super excited about that. Sean Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be there. He's fucking awesome. I love him in Guardians of the Galaxy, but I also love him in the specials because he's fucking amazing in that.
And one of my favorite in-person Power Rangers is going to be there again.
Austin St. John, the original Red Ranger.
Yeah, the original Red Ranger. After meeting him the first time, it was amazing.
Oh god, he was so amazing. Yes, Ali Machalka is going to be there. Of course, you guys remember her probably from what was the Wildcats? Hellcats. Yeah, that was the cheerleader show that was on CW, and she's on iZombie now, I guess. Rose, what's her name? Rose McIver was going to be there. Unfortunately, she had to drop out because of a movie commitment.
I don't really care.
I don't care, but they were doing some iZombie stuff. Some awesome cosplayers are going to be there. Anamia, who we love. Ivy Doom Kitty, also amazing.
Oh, they got Sony coming back too, and Yaya. Man, that's a pretty stacked cosplay lineup.
And Yaya Han, and of course Mary Mercenary, our good friend, is going to be there too.
Sweet, I can tell 3 of them I like them, and then I can tell Yaya she can go for herself.
What does everybody want?
Hey!
Al Snow is going to be there. That's going to be one for me. I love
Al Snow. He was always one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ming, Mike, and Brian from Comic Book Men. Brian, that's one's exciting for me.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to meet him. Ming and Mike were amazing to us last year. They were super fucking
definitely
cool.
Can't wait to talk to them.
Can't wait to meet Brian. Jake the Snake Roberts. That's a childhood dream.
Man, that's going to be good.
Charles Martinet, who's the voice of Mario and Luigi. That guy's a fucking voice talent legend. Bill Hargreaves, who's IG-88 and Beaumont Monk from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Carlos Alazrique, who is Rocco of Rocco's Modern Life, and of course from fucking Reno 911 too. Yes. Oh god, he's so fucking funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
I love that dude. Jed Reese, who is, of course, I remember him most from Galaxy Quest as one of the aliens, but he's also in Deadpool as well, and a million other things. He's a great character actor. Greg the Hammer Valentine, that was another awesome 80s wrestling legend.
Yeah. Greedo.
Paul Blake, Greedo from Star Wars. The Mouth of the South.
Jim Cornette.
The Louisville Slugger himself, Jim Cornette. I'm so happy to see that. Jim Cornette would kill me because Mouth of the South is actually Jimmy Hart. But
yeah, I was about to say, I was like, oh.
I'm a huge Jim Cornette fan, as everybody knows, and I'll be excited to see him once again. Malcolm Goodwin from iZombie is also going to be there. And then here's a couple more of the bounty hunters. Zuckus and Forlom, Kathy Monroe, and Chris Parsons are going to be there.
Yep.
And there's a boatload of Power Rangers. I'm not even going to go through all of them.
They're having like a RPM kind of. They got RPM blue, green, gold, black, and
Turbo blue.
The Turbo blue, Dino Thunder blue, Dino Thunder white, Dino Thunder yellow.
Kat Sutherland, Nakia Burris,
Christopher Lee, who's the Red Ranger in Space.
Karen Ashley's going to be there again.
Yes.
Michelle Harrison, who plays Flash's mom on the Flash show. So both of his parents are going to be there.
Gonna wear a Flash shirt and get a picture with fucking both of them. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The In Space Power Rangers Silver,
and
then
Paul
of course
Scheer,
our
Jason
favorite,
Murphy,
Dr. Skull and the Bulkster, baby.
Oh yeah.
Like, I can't finish a Lexington without going to their panel. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's incomplete.
It's just wrong.
If you don't.
Bosk, Alan Harris is going to be there. Barbara Goodson, the voice of Rita Repulsa.
Yep.
Brian O'Halloran, of course, I mentioned earlier, and Scott Schiaffo, who's the Chuli's Gum guy.
Yeah.
And Marilyn Gigliotti. Mike Edmonds, who is Logray.
Sucks a lot of dicks.
Rocky Doll cosplayer, Mary Stevens cosplayer. The Supernatural Impala is going to be there again.
Any more these days, I feel like that's a better car choice because, like, when you pop that trunk and it has all those cool, like, supernatural hunting stuff.
Actually, this one's the most exciting for me because Lee Majors is going to be there.
Oh, it's the Fall Guy
The
truck.
Fall Guy pickup truck is going to be there, and I'm
Yeah.
super fucking jazzed about that.
would be
I need a
interesting.
picture next to that fucking thing so
you do.
bad.
I want to get one next to the Supernatural car.
I actually have, I think, the Fall Guy DVD box
Yeah.
set somewhere. So that's pretty much all the major as far as like celebrities and all that go.
If you like Magic, there's going to be
Reed
Masterson.
Diamond, Reed Masterson's going to be there. Yeah,
Magic.
comic creator wise, it's a big lineup too.
Yeah.
Neil Adams, Mike Grell, Peter David, Mike Zeck, Jim Mathwood, who is amazing, does the Kevin Smith Clerk comics.
Yeah.
Bo Smith,
Wyona Earp creator, yeah.
Basil Gogos, who does the famous Monsters of Filmland art. Joshua Hale, Rico Renzi, Rob Guillory, Christina Rice, Cody Chamberlain. This is an amazing lineup.
Yeah.
Joel Adams, who of course was big in with King of the Hill and his Neil Adams son.
Yeah. Man, he looks like him too.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
A lot of amazing names. Daryl Banks, my quote-unquote nemesis.
Yeah,
Kevin Smith is going to be there.
That thing's taking on its own thing.
Yeah, Stuart Sager, of course,
yeah.
yeah. So a lot of amazing creators are going to be there as well. You can find all of this information out on LexingtonComicCon.com. You can still get tickets.
Yep.
We're going to be there.
You can still find hotels down around in that area, too.
We're staying in Georgetown. Go to hotel.
Really nice.
This unofficial advertisement. Go to hotels.com and just put in Lexington for that weekend, and you'll find something. Or you can try Airbnb.com, which is something that I've learned a lot about recently.
Yeah,
which is pretty neat. Like if you're into staying,
we
with
actually
folks.
looked at some stuff.
We
for
did,
the
and
Airbnb, and it was like it's interesting.
I'm a chicken shit, and I'm scared to stay with people I don't know.
Yeah.
But
This
it's
would
a
be something-
fascinating concept.
This would be like if you're very adventurous and you like to like meet new people and do that like the experience thing. Mm-hmm. It's definitely something you should try. You know, it may be good, it may not be good. You never know. Hopefully it's good. If not, you might have to call somebody or send an email to somebody and harass it.
You never know. You never know. But we're super excited about it. We literally cannot wait.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at like, oh god, why is it
This weekend? I thought it was this weekend, right? Like, it's this weekend. Okay, yeah.
I'm very,
good.
very
It's
excited.
actually good that we have this weekend. We got an off weekend to get stuff ready. You know, get everything ready.
We're all prepped.
Get all my swim trunks for the hot
You know.
booze and drinking. Yes.
This has been, unfortunately, kind of a sad couple weeks, too, as far as, like, so we haven't gotten to record in a few weeks, but I wanted to mention, since we were talking a lot about wrestling just a minute ago, that George the Animal Steele passed away, and Chavo Guerrero Sr. passed away.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys watched SmackDown in the 2000s, you remember Chavo Classic
Yeah.
with his son, and, of course, the brother of Eddie Guerrero and son of the great Mondo Guerrero.
That was actually probably one of the best storylines they did with Chavo, was with his dad.
Chavo Classic, yeah,
Chavo
absolutely. And he was a
Classic.
cruiserweight champion.
Yep. Hey, man, he could sell. Ooh, he's a great seller.
He's a great worker and a true talent. George the Animal Steele. I grew up watching this guy.
I'm pretty sure he died from, like, eating, things he shouldn't have.
Turnbuckles?
Yeah, turnbuckles. Like, what happened? Well, he had so many bits of foam shoved into his intestines that
I don't know, man. You're talking about a guy who's kind of limited in the ring, but had a really long career.
His character. It was the character.
Yeah, it's
man.
all character. And, and not only that, but a successful acting career, too. Of course, I remember him very much from Ed Wood, where he played Tor Johnson. Yeah. Which was like, he got a huge amount of acclaim for that part, and it was amazing. And I always remember from that, he stole a lot of scenes in that movie. Mm-hmm. And from by all accounts, an amazing person.
Scared the shit out of people, like in wrestling,
but a really good
in
guy.
real life was a great person.
Yeah, unforgettable, and definitely a huge wrestling talent. Mm-hmm. Speaking of passing away, though, this one just happened a few days ago. Actually, it happened Sunday, I think, when we were at Jim and Dan's.
Yeah.
And it really kind of hit me a weird way, because he really wasn't all that old. And it's not someone I expected to hear passed away, but Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
It's 61 years old from complications of surgery.
Surgery complications and stuff. They still haven't... I don't know. I'd have to look into it more, but I tried to look into it when I saw it, and they didn't say what kind of surgery it was.
Yeah.
Like, if it was something like a bypass or anything, but I mean, any major surgeries, you always run that risk, but with today's medicine, you think you're a little bit safer, but, sometimes it just happens. I know there's been a big outpouring of people like Rob Lowe, who was a really good friend of his. The Storm Chasers had been doing a lot of stuff. They did a lot of, radar blips where they did BP for Bill. He is also the only person to ever be killed by a Predator, an Alien, and a Terminator.
This is a guy who you cannot underestimate his contribution to sci-fi and pop culture in general.
Oh, dude,
sci-fi, horror, and 80s pop culture. This is, Chet from Weird Science. This is, Aliens, Private Hudson. This is the guy, Near Dark, one of my favorite vampire movies of all time.
Which, actually, here's the fun thing about that, is Tim Bradstreet, the artist who did a lot of the early conceptual work for Vampire the Masquerade and that whole world, was heavily influenced by Bill Paxton in Near Dark.
Yeah.
And his portrayal, like, a lot of it has to do with that.
I almost forgot about him being next of kin.
Yeah. I challenge people to give me a list of 10, like, horror sci-fi movies and him not being at least one of them. Because that man worked his ass off.
Not only to mention Twister and Apollo 13 and
True
Titanic,
Lies.
True Lies.
True Lies, it was such a great douchebag.
Frailty, one of the most amazing understated horror movies of all time. Just extremely insanely
Spy
talented
Kids,
guy.
Thunderbirds.
Big Love. It was a huge successful show.
Yeah. The Big Love stuff was good.
He was so amazing. Now, this is a personal favorite of mine. The Hatfields and McCoys miniseries with him and Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
He was fucking amazing in it. And of course, just not too far from now, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where he was the traitorous John Garrett, the guy who was, the Hydra agent that started it all there with the fucking, heel turn of the century in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Like
Edge of Tomorrow, Nightcrawler,
fucking Texas
bunch of
Rising,
shit. Yeah, Training Day, the TV
he was doing
series.
That Training Day series too. This is a guy whose contributions to like pop culture and science fiction just cannot be downplayed.
Super nice guy, like super amazing guy, very funny, very smart.
Yeah, I've never heard a crossword said about him, and it's really just like God. It hurt. It hit me in a weird way.
Yeah, I remember telling Ariel was like, "Oh, don't tell him," and I was like, "Aaron just posted it. He's going to talk to Aaron, so I'm sure Aaron's going to bring it up and stuff because we were like, we knew it was going to hit you because it hit me when I saw it. Like me and her were both like, oh, because like, he's one of those like iconic character / like good actors that you expect to see in some of these movies, and it is kind of. When you see it, you're like, okay, I'm a little bit more assured about this movie because he's in it.
Yeah.
I know at least one thing's going to be good about it, and it's always going to be Bill Paxton.
Oh, yeah. He's one of those actors that, like, if I see that he's in something, I'm more likely to watch it.
Yeah.
Just because of that. Because, like, he's just that guy. He's got that grin that could either look like really warm or really psychotic. Like, he's just got that thing going on. He could be your best friend,
a fatherly figure, or he could be that slimy piece of shit.
Yeah, he's great at playing a slimeball douchebag. He was great at playing a good person. He was great at playing a psychopath. Like, he was a really talented all-around actor. Yeah. And, I mean, the world is a sadder place for him not being in it, unfortunately. Yeah. So, I mean, of course, as we always say, our thoughts are with his friends and family and all of his fans out there.
Yep.
Unfortunately for him, the game is over.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
But yeah, that's the sad news out of the way there. I haven't mentioned this yet, but I will mention this is actually our 150th show.
Yep.
And if we weren't so fucking busy doing everything in the world, we were going to try to plan something special for it. But we've got 50 shows into 200, and 200 we're going to do something
200
special.
we're going to go big.
For 100 we had Dirk live in studio. For 200 we're going to try for something even better.
Yeah. Better than Dirk.
Better than, I don't know if you can get much better than that guy. But speaking of our amazing friends in the independent community, I want to talk a little bit about Adam Fields. He's a friend of ours that we met through the Jim and Dan shows, and he's got an amazing book coming out. He's actually, the first issue is already out.
Yep.
And the second issue is coming. Now, I talked to him, and we promised that we wouldn't actually do the read and review until the second book comes out, because it's kind of...
So
Go ahead.
I haven't reviewed it, but I've started reading it. I've seen some of the artwork that he showed for the second one. I've talked to him this Sunday. Like, I talked to him Sunday at Jim and Dan's. about a lot of like the future plans with the book. It's some exciting stuff. I really, you know me, I'm very much, I need that unity between art and story. If one side's lacking, I don't feel like it's a complete book, you know? And I feel like his comic is really good. The art's solid, the writing's solid, you know, he's got, you can see the homage to certain things, but it's also one of those, he had an idea, and it was kind of counterintuitive, you know, like counter to what a lot of people have done with that medium, and I like it. It's a werewolf book.
Yeah.
Prowl. But it's different because we had talked about this with werewolves. They're the big bad, the big destruction thing. Like, and a lot of stuff recently, they're, you know, just, it's like the Hulk. You know, nobody really wants to do the story with Bruce. It's just they want the Hulk because he just wrecks shit and he's the ultimate, you know, chaos maker, and that's kind of what werewolves are. And his story, you know, that he has for it is a little bit different, and I like it. It looks really good, and the art is really good.
Now, for you guys who want an actual synopsis, I'll give you the synopsis that Adam wrote himself about it. Crime is on the rise as the rumor mill runs rampant about the urban legend Man-Wolf. Citizens of the town shock the sightings up to a new drug that is plaguing the area, but the underbelly knows the truth. Prowl is out there. Growing up in the town, Alex has watched the deterioration of the pride and work ethic and the rise of crime. With a mysterious stone he found in the woods, he's able to transform himself into Prowl and bring the crime count down. Unbeknownst to him, the stone has a long history that only a select few want to keep hidden until their agenda is complete. Alex has no clue what power he truly possesses, nor does he know what curse comes with it as well.
Yep.
So this is not your atypical werewolf book in the fact that this is almost a superhero book. Like, in the respect that,
it's like a supernatural superhero.
Yeah, I think Hulk was a good comparison because it is kind of like that Bruce Banner Hulk sort of comparison. But yeah, I'm very interested. I promised him we wouldn't actually do like a review until the second one comes out because it's
like
a two-part
1 and 2.
story,
it's
basically.
a 2-part story, yeah. So,
but when that does, we'll definitely be talking more about it. But I wanted to give it a little shout out. You guys can check out the official Facebook page. The official Facebook page.
Sorry to talk with Timbits in your mouth.
Sorry, I have donuts in my mouth.
Yep.
I'll be sharing that out for you guys. And then on Twitter, it's @Prowl Comic Book. So check that out. And Adam is a very talented guy and a really nice guy, too.
Yeah, he was showing us some art from some other stuff that he's done, and it was amazing.
Absolutely
I
gorgeous.
love the D&D stuff that he did. It was like that barbarian that one he drew looked amazing.
Yes. And speaking of indie comics, I'll go ahead and... I don't have an official Kickstarters of the week this time, but I'll do 2 Kickstarters that I contribute to myself.
Yeah.
And ones that I promised that I would also talk about. And even if I didn't even know these guys, I would still talk about these because they're fucking
this
amazing.
one's actually one I'm going to contribute to here in like the next day or two, or probably after we've done recording the show.
And the one we're talking about is Shelter Division, The Beginning, from Bob Sally and from Source Point Press.
Yes.
Of course, you guys know Bob's friends of the show. I know he's been on the Todd Files, and he's an amazing guy. I've got to interview him a few times. And Shelter Division is this great sci-fi kind of concept that really is very different from a lot of stuff that I've seen before. Like it's a team book, but it's not exactly what you would expect. It's if you're a monster fan or if you're a Cryptozoid fan, it's definitely something that you should check out.
Yeah, I've read every page that they've thrown up online. I'm super in love with this book. This is definitely down my street. I love the kind of supernatural, team of like paranormal, supernatural hunters. Has always been something that I've been big into and fascinated with. And the art is just fucking amazing.
Yeah, Francesco Tomaselli is the artist. He's an Italian comic artist.
Damn good work, sir. Damn good work.
Absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get it. I've pledged to it already, and I can't wait to get a hold of it.
I'm going to as well because I need it in my hands.
I love everything that SourcePoint does, and I love Bob's work. Bob's an insanely talented writer.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a huge Salvagers fan. I actually was wearing my Salvagers shirt at Jim and Dan's this weekend. So
I was like, I want a Shelter Division shirt. Give me that.
I think actually that is one of the levels that you can pledge.
Yep.
Is actually 4 T-shirts for Shelter Division T-shirts.
I'll probably be getting that. Yeah.
And there's sketch card levels. There's all kinds of amazing. Bob's got a level where you can do a one-on-one Skype session with him for tips on creating your your own books.
Nice.
I mean, you can get original art, you can get salvager stuff, you can get Starlight Tavern stuff, you can just really get anything that's, you know, the Bobaverse related.
Yeah.
I've just named it that.
The Bobaverse.
The Bobaverse.
The Bobaverse.
The Sally Universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out Shelter Division in the beginning. Right now, they've blown past their goal. They're going on to stretch goals now. But 4,500 was a goal. They're at 5,709. There's 14 days ago. There's 198 backers. It's doing extremely well.
Yeah.
So I'm super, super fucking jazzed for Bob. And I also want to mention Modern Animals, which is David Brown's book. You guys may remember David from Obscura. And David has been a steadfast supporter of the show.
Yep.
You know, he's one of those first guys that if something is funny to him, like on the show, he'll be like, "Hey, this thing that you were talking about, I love it." Like
that was good. I like that.
Or he'll be like commenting on things or sending me messages like, "Hey, about this one thing you were talking about, let me get into that conversation." Like, I love David. David's work is amazing. Modern Animals is a 72-page graphic novel about two lovable drug-fueled losers who work in the adult film industry. One's a lighting tech and the other is a fluffer. The best job ever.
Yeah.
When a night of innocent fun with two sisters turns into a double homicide, our boys' lives are flipped upside down as they do their best to stay one step ahead of psychopaths who are hungry for revenge. It's a tale of love, drugs, and vengeance and low morals. It's divided into chapters. It each has its own color scheme. If you've seen any of David's work before, you know that like the art is very unique. His mysterious artist DNS, who no one knows anything about, he is extremely mysterious. No one's ever seen the guy. No one's ever talked to the guy.
What, the DNS?
Yeah, no one's ever seen or talked to him. He's a very mysterious figure, but he does all the work for David's book. There are rumors rampant out there that it may actually be David, but we cannot confirm that. David swears it is not him. He swears that he's a completely different person.
So who does he talk to then if he doesn't talk to that guy?
Well, he talks to David, obviously, but no one else has talked to him. I'm a big fan of David's stuff. I love Obscura. It's one of my favorite books. He does amazing stuff. There's a lot of really cool different prize levels on this one. I couldn't recommend it more. It's very like this kind of 70s exploitation feel to it.
Yeah,
very much like the last book that David did, which I believe is called The Magician. If I'm not right,
I think it was the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that one too.
Do you have that one?
I do. I did the Kickstarter on that one too. I've got that one floating around too. Yeah. I can't say enough about David's work. He's extremely talented. I can't wait to get a hold of this one too. There's, even if you don't have Obscura already, there's one of the levels you can get Obscura as well. There's a retailer special where you can get 8 copies for your comic shop if you're doing that. There's commission levels. I can't recommend it enough. Right now, there was a $2,000 goal. They're at 2420 right now with 15 days to go. So he's already blown past the goal, and we're going for stretch goals now. So check that one out. Modern Animals on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Woo! I just talked a lot.
Yeah, you did.
A lot.
Uh-huh.
I haven't talked in 2 weeks, man.
Yeah,
Actually, I do nothing but talk now. But
I was gonna say, we've talked a shit ton, just none of it would record.
Which sucks because I wish sometimes that we had like a mini recorder or something.
Because we'd have shows out the wazoo.
Yeah, because sometimes we just get into these conversations and I'm like, man, sometimes I want to be like, no, let's just stop and we'll save it. But like, you get in that moment when you have a conversation and it's great. Yeah. And you can't stop talking. But I wish that some of those could have gotten recorded.
Yeah. Well, that's hopefully one thing we can invest in is like some different things.
While we're talking about Kickstarters,
oh god,
I want to talk a little bit about something that happened on our Facebook page.
Yes.
So
I've been waiting for this.
A few weeks ago, I went off on a little rant about people using personal issues to bolster their Kickstarters.
Yeah.
Kickstarter is about getting a project funded. It's about making a dream come true.
Yeah.
It's about the work.
Yeah.
And to some extent about the person doing the work, but to me, it's more about the work.
There's a lot of different ideas and methodologies that come with it. Some people think one thing with Kickstarter, some people think another. But
what I do not like, and what physically makes me ill, is to go on to Facebook and see people hawking their Kickstarter by telling a woe is me sad story about their life or their illness or their perceived struggle to get there.
They're basically getting the pity fuck money. Yeah.
to some extent, you can say I'm a callous person for this, but I don't care. I don't care about your personal struggle when it comes to your Kickstarter project. What I care about is the book of interest to me? Do I have money to contribute to it?
The product, yeah.
And is it something I feel that people should be looking at or reading?
Yeah.
Those are criteria that I judge. I don't care who's making it. I do to some extent. We're friends with a lot of creators, and they'll be like, "Hey, I'm doing a project or whatever." And there's plenty of creators whose projects, we could be best friends with a guy, but if he's putting out a book that really doesn't interest me, it's not something I'm going to necessarily contribute to.
Yeah, I look at it objectively. I look at it from the consumer. Is this something I want to read? Is this something I'm willing to invest my money in? I don't care if freaking family. If it's not. I'll throw you some shout outs, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna give you money just because of that. I gotta believe in the product.
Right. If your Kickstarter is if you're doing a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe or for something for someone who's sick,
yeah, or
because you're sick, or because you're infirmed, or because you're broke, or whatever, that's where that belongs.
Yeah.
It's not to say that I would see a GoFundMe for someone that's a friend that's sick or something and I wouldn't contribute, because I've done it. Mm-hmm. And we've done it with our laptop project that we did to get more shows recorded. But I'm a handicapped person. Dave knows this. He's I for many years have suffered with mobility issues, but I don't make it my life. It does not define me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
this is a problem. This is this is one of the, and I'm addressing this only because it was one of the hottest posts that we've ever had. Facebook was sending me messages this post is crazy on fire, whatever, and I'm like, all right, that's cool, whatever. We had a lot of people commenting on it. We had a lot of people arguing in that thread, and we had a lot of
that post spits hot fire.
Yeah, we had a lot of me telling people exactly what the fuck I think, and I'm sorry if you're handicapped, or if you are sick, or you have some sort of infirmity or whatever, anything that you feel is an important thing that needs to be told to people about your when you're doing a Kickstarter project. To me, it's only needs to be mentioned, and this is my opinion, it only needs to be mentioned if it has something to do with the book itself.
Yeah, if it was
if you're handicapped and you're writing a book about a handicapped person, you can be like, hey, I understand this because I am handicapped, and blah blah blah. But if you're writing
struggles, inspirations, different things like that, don't be like,
this is gonna get me.
Yeah.
If you're writing a book about fucking strapping somebody to the wall and whipping him and beating him while listening to the Muppet Babies theme song, and you're fucking telling me that you're handicapped, I don't give a shit, because it has nothing to do with your fucking story. Yeah. Why do I care about that? I'll never care about that. I don't give a fuck. I don't know you. I don't want to really know you. Yeah. And then, again, this is what makes me an asshole. I have a hard enough time caring about the shit I'm supposed to care about. Not alone some fucking third generation I don't give a fuck shit. I'm sorry. I don't care, and I won't care. If you want me to back this book, you will not use guilt tactics to make me back this book. You will not fucking use, sob stories and crybaby bullshit. I don't fucking care. That is exactly what's going to turn me off. Even if I like the project in the first place, if I get a message in my motherfucking inbox that says, oh, you should back my book because I have a hard life, that's exactly why I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. I should not do any of that stuff. It does sound dickish, but I don't know. I come from that family of pick yourself up by the bootstraps and do it. Make it happen.
I work for every nickel I've ever gotten. We got the $600 to fucking fund this laptop, and we did it because we made good shows, and we had good friends that were nice enough to want to hear us continue.
But even that was the thing. We were able to get friends like that to help us because we worked our ass off for the first couple of years.
Yes,
to get
we never asked for anybody. We're just sending any message to people like, "Oh, please God, help us." No, we put it out there and said, if you want to help, help. If you don't want to help, don't help.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's if you want to ask people for help, that's fine. There's nothing wrong.
There's no shame in asking for people for help. It's trying to use guilt.
Yeah.
Wielding guilt as a weapon like your Jewish grandmother or something.
Yeah.
On your fucking Kickstarter.
To do a situation, to be like, oh, but I'm in this situation and stuff. And I'll be like, okay, then you need to start a GoFundMe page for that. Don't be trying to use it in your book, because honestly it taints the book for me. It taints the project. I'm just well, now do I really want to buy invest in this because of what it is or because what he told me? You're playing on my emotions. And I know that's probably what the people are trying to do, and it's like, you know what, that will always have that asterisk there. That will always come with that like thing.
Yes, this was almost a quote from what I said in one of these fucking Facebook posts. That the person that I was arguing with, who thinks that it is okay to do this and is totally behind the fact that he can talk about that shit.
The fuck it is, and if I ever see you like doing that shit in front of me, I will just like shut you down right there. Like I will fucking go off.
I will be nice enough not to mention this person's name, but this person thinks that it's totally okay to do these things, and like they think that the world owes them something because they have a handicap, and I am not that guy. Like, he's like, I deserve my parking space, and I deserve this. Yeah, you know what? Because you're physically infirm, you do deserve a parking space. But what you don't deserve is to try to fucking guilt people into giving you money for a comic book because you're crippled.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bullshit.
It'd be like sitting out in front of your parking space and then be like, shooka with a can, like, you should give me money because I have this parking space.
The world
like,
does not owe you a fucking lemon because you're hurt. Yeah. And I'm hurt too, and I use my parking space because I fucking deserve it for that reason. Yeah. But it has nothing to do with anything else. That would be like me going on here and saying, you guys should listen to Basement Fodder and share things because I'm crippled. Yeah. No, fuck you. Don't ever do that. Yeah. Don't you ever motherfucking share this show.
Don't you give me
for
pity.
That fucking reason. Don't you fucking give me pity. I don't, because I tell you what, I could never fucking do that. I want to make a comic book. Dave and I both do, but I tell you what, I would never fucking do this because I don't want to spend the rest of my life thinking that I got money for this comic book because it was the equivalent of a motherfucking pity fuck. Mm-hmm. Never, ever.
Yeah. If it's not on the merits of what it was, then don't do it, you know?
Exactly. You should make money just like David's making money on his, just like Bob is making money on his. Because these guys work their asses off. They make compelling comics that people want to fucking read. And you know what? If you don't have the ability to go out there and hawk your shit in the proper way, then you don't deserve funding.
And that's the thing, man. Like, having been in this industry now and seen, you know, the indie creators and, you know, talk to them and, you know, the writers, the artists, everything, like, to see what they have to go through, you know, to sell a book. I mean, it'll make or break you, man. Like, we've seen people that can do it and some people that can't. And you see what a person's really made of and how much that dream means to them. How much they're really willing to work for said dream. And, like, you've seen some guys that will, like, just, I mean, almost kill themselves to get these dreams, like, made and put. And even once they get it, they're still working their ass off. Yes. Like, they don't just like, okay, I got it, now I can, like, relax. Like, they'll, you know, celebrate, relax a little bit for a second, and then go right back to it, you know?
We know so many amazing creators that work their asses off to get their books funded. And JR, Dirk, Bob Sally, David Brown, all these guys that work so hard, Travis McIntyre and those guys at Source Point, Mike Watson, Victor Dandridge Jr., all these guys who hustle 24-7. And you know what those guys do not do? They do not trade on sympathy for money. Yeah. And they do not fucking let their personal lives and show that and shove it in people's faces. And you know what they also don't do is they also don't play the tit for tat game, which also really fucking pisses me off. Yeah. And this person is guilty of too. Fucking like, oh, because I gave you money for yours, you should give me money for mine. Now, that doesn't work that way, sir. If I gave you money, it means I wanted to see that book made. It doesn't mean that later on I'm expecting you fucking... This ain't... I ain't Don fucking Vito Corleone. Yeah. I didn't do you a fucking favor because later on you may owe me a favor. No, fuck you. That is not how this works. Yeah. If you have a good book, I will give you money if I have it. There's plenty... You know what? I feel bad because there's plenty of projects that have happened in the last year or so that because I wasn't working, I couldn't fucking fund. People that I love and projects that I believed with all my heart in. That I could not fucking fund, and that kills me. And I will not take a nickel out of my fucking pocket to fund something that I don't truly believe in just because some asshole's trying to throw a guilt trip on me. Yeah. Do you know, I'm going to mention this because fucking, this guy's pretty amazing, but there's a creator that, unfortunately the show never saw the light of day because I only got to record about half of it. Mm-hmm. But there's an amazing creator named Kitsune who does an anime comic. Mm-hmm. And this guy is a complete quadriplegic. Yeah. He is in, you know, he can't move at all. Yeah. He's got, I can't remember what the disease is called, but like basically he can breathe and talk. Yeah. This guy wrote the comic himself. Yep. He fucking organized everything. He's not the artist or whatever, but he's organized everything. Yeah. He's run campaigns for it. And unfortunately, like, you know, I think one campaign was successful and the other one wasn't. But the thing is, this guy does not trade on the fact that he's infirmed. You wouldn't even know unless you went to his Facebook page and found out. Yeah. That impresses me a hell of a lot more than somebody coming out and being like, I'm hurt so bad, but you should buy my book because you feel sorry for me. Fuck you. Yeah. No is the answer.
Yeah. And that guy's just, Like, he'll let you know, and then that's it. Like, that's the thing. It's like
He does not let it define him.
Yeah. And
if anybody could, that poor guy could.
Yeah.
I have more respect from that guy than I have about some asshole whining about my back hurts, buy my comic. Fuck you. My back hurts. I don't give a shit if you listen to my show.
We're all in our 30s. Guess what, buddy? Everybody's back hurts now.
I have a fucking tumor pressing against my spinal column, and sometimes randomly, if I'm walking down the street, I'll just fall the fuck down.
Yeah.
Because my legs don't work anymore.
You're like, yeah.
But do I think you should listen to my podcast because of that? Fuck no, I don't. If you want to listen, listen. If you don't, fuck you. I don't care. Like, if it's not for you, don't listen.
It's my podcast, and I'll make it if I want to.
I'm never going to tell anybody to listen to this show for any reason other than I think you might enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to tell
anybody...
You
like duty poop jokes and very naughty talk. And
I'm never going to tell anybody to fucking back a comic unless you think you're going to enjoy reading that comic or you think someone else might enjoy reading that comic.
Yeah, that's the other
Not
thing,
just
too.
you. I've given money to other comics that I wouldn't read for fucking money, but because I think other people might enjoy reading them.
Yeah. That's the thing, just because it's not your street.
I'm sorry. I got a woosah. Like, I'm fucking dying here because this shit gets me hot. People that try to take advantage of the independent comic community and the love that's out there really fucking get me going.
About that, yeah. It is the dark underbelly of the indie thing, where there are some shitty people in it that try to use what it is and what it does for people, and they try to turn that around on people, and it gets shitty.
It's people like that fuck up the platform for everybody else. That run excessive Kickstarters, that run Kickstarters for stuff and trade on, sympathy to try to get money. Like, that's what ruins those platforms. If you're out there and you want, if you're, saying that you should support me personally, why don't you get a fucking Patreon account? Because that's about fucking supporting somebody. Why don't you run a GoFundMe?
That's the thing. So, Kickstarter is about, to me, the project. Patreon is about the person.
Patreon and GoFundMe can both be about the person. GoFundMe's kind of half and half. It could be about a project or it could be about a person or a thing or whatever. But if you're sick, fucking a Kickstarter to me or Indiegogo, whatever. Kickstarter is about the product and about getting a book made or getting whatever made that you think that you passionately believe in. Yeah. To me, it is not about fucking trading pity party for fucking money.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think I'm an asshole, that I don't feel sorry for crippled people, whatever. I'm a crippled person myself, and I don't feel sorry for myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, my heart goes out to people that are disabled. I'm a disabled person. I understand what you're going through. But 90% of us, we don't use that. No. We don't let it define us, and we don't go out there and try to trade on it.
Yeah. It's not good. It's taboo, baby. Don't do that.
And if you do that, hey, man, it's your conscience that you have to live with. You're the one who has to wonder for the rest of your life if your book is the equivalent of a pity fuck.
Honestly, it sounds like they don't care. They just are like...
Hey, that's cool, man. If you don't give a fuck, if you like bilking people, knock yourself out. But don't think I'm one you're going to bilk.
Yeah.
And don't think Dave is one or any of our people.
Yeah, good luck. I
don't have official capacity to say this, but no one involved in digital nerdage at all is going to fucking care about you and your bullshit.
Yeah. I'll say it. I don't care.
We'll say goodbye to you in the next second and forget you in the next second.
Yeah.
So fuck you, guy, and your fucking bullshit.
Or girl. It could be a girl.
Or whoever the fuck it is. I'm trying not to be specific, but I really want it to be.
Okay.
I love the indie... you guys know me, and I love indie comics, and I love the community too much to watch shit like this go on.
Yeah.
So, whatever. But anyway, do we have anything else? Because we're getting close to the...
we got some casting news. Some crazy things. So I think right now some of the big stuff is there's the rumor mill for Deadpool as far as Cable. If for a while there it was Pierce, now it looks like it might be Russell Crowe.
God, I don't care about either one of those.
People are just wondering. The whole Logan movie is supposed to be coming out, and we know for a fact that Hugh Jackman has said that is the last time that he is going to be playing Wolverine. He is done. There was a comment saying though that if the X-Men had been in the Marvel universe, he would be continuing to play Wolverine even later on. So I think that kind of says something to the strategy of Fox and how they've mishandled the X-Men movies. I know Ryan Reynolds has been working him hard. He even says he's like, Ryan doesn't understand the word no because he wants him in the Deadpool sequel. Mm-hmm. But also, I felt like it had been said before, but then there was some things that maybe had made people think otherwise. But Patrick Stewart came out and said this is the last time you will see him as Charles Xavier. This is his last portrayal of the character. So, seems fitting. they're both going out. They both started together in the first movie. They're both going out 17 years later. I know Ian McKellen was a little bummed he didn't get asked to be in it.
Yeah.
But I understand story-wise, it's kind of one of those things. Plus, we also talked about it, like, age-wise, Magneto's a little bit older, so it's like, fucking...
I don't feel like it makes any sense for me to be in it myself, but...
Plus, his level of power.
I get it, he just kind of wanted to work with his friends.
And that's
play
cool.
the character,
In X-Men news, there was some casting for the series that is apparently supposed to be being made that I guess it's going to be like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as far as, like, it's in the Fox X-Men universe. They had just cast the Blink character, which is, can't ever say her last name. I think it's JB Cheung.
Yeah.
She got cast as Blink, which is cool. Finally get to see more of that character. We only got to see a little bit of her in Days of Future Past. She's an interesting character.
Yeah.
But then they cast the main, like, character, the human dad, the non-mutant dad, which will be damn it, now I can't even remember his name. Stephen Moyer.
Yeah, love Stephen Moyer.
Yeah, he will be playing the dad, which I think that's really good casting. He's a really good actor.
Oh yeah.
I'm willing to give this show a shot and see what it does, because one, I'm also kind of confused as to fucking how this is going to fit into the universe, because if it was in just the regular X-Men universe, okay, that makes sense up to a point. But then when they started doing Days of Future Past and Apocalypse, the whole continuity has been fuckered up pretty hard. So I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm intrigued to see that. There'll be more casting coming out of that.
Yeah.
They had cast the... what is it? We had mentioned this. They showed the entire cast, I believe, of Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
They have started casting people for The Runaways, I believe, which is on Hulu. So that will be interesting. Some people are thinking that this X-Men show that they're doing is going to be Exiles. And they're wondering if there's going to be some crossovers within these three. What's going to go on? We don't know.
I'm going to go ahead and try, before we get too far away from it, that I don't care at all about this X-Men show.
Yeah, I know.
There's not, like... I would not watch this for money. Like, I have no interest. Like, literally, de-interest. It's like Gotham level of interest.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's not anything because of the material. It's because how the material has been handled.
Yep.
Like, if this had come out, like, around X-Men 2, X-Men 3, you'd still have me hooked.
Yeah.
Days of Future Past was like, eh.
Fox has shown me nothing that they have the ability to coherently make good X-Men movies.
Yeah.
They've given me one good Wolverine movie and a couple decent X-Men movies here and there.
Yeah. And even in then, there's, like, decent portrayals and then, like, decent not, portrayals of characters.
So,
they're spotty at best.
No Fox.
What else? The main character for the Black Lightning pilot was cast for Jeffrey Pierce.
I had to laugh because he played a villain on Lois and Clark years ago.
Yeah,
he was like a voodoo villain. He was
Baron Sunday.
Baron Sunday, yeah,
Baron
on Lois
Sunday,
and Clark
yeah.
years and years ago.
Yeah. And so, like, from what they're saying, they believe because of who the actor is and the time period that it's retired, Jeffrey Pierce, and then his daughters. It has something to do with gangs, and it gets him brought out. Which this is cool because his daughters are also very well, known in the DC universe and have their own powers. So this could be interesting. I know there was a little bit of drawback. People were like, "Oh, I wanted a Static Shock show," and I was like, honestly,
I couldn't care less about that.
I could care less about Static Shock because to me, Black Lightning is a better character. Like,
okay, let me burst everybody's
and his daughters
90s
are
bubble.
better characters.
I'm gonna burst your '90s bubble, and you're gonna hate me for this, all you
What?
kids in the '90s. But Static Shock is a shitty show.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry. Like, it's a cool character concept. Or
I
whatever.
only like Static Shock.
It was cool when they did the old man version of him and
yeah.
Batman Beyond, but Static Shock is probably one of the worst cartoons ever.
Oh yeah,
The animation's terrible. It's goofy as fuck, and I can't get through an entire episode without wanting to turn it off.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I know a lot of people love Static Shock, and you remember it through the eyes of nostalgia. Hey,
Yeah.
we all have that cartoon that we remember through the eyes of nostalgia.
Yeah.
That one's not it for me.
Yeah, that was not one for me. You know which one was, and then I go back and watch it, and I'm just like, oh god, I forgot how much I actually hate Spider-Man. Was the Spider-Man the animated one?
Yeah.
I hate Spider-Man, but that show was actually good. And then I go back and watch it, and I'm like, man, I remember how much I fucking hate Spider-Man.
Yep.
Like, I loved a lot of things that were in this show, and then I loved when they crossed it over with X-Men. But yeah, it's shitty. Now, the thing that's going to be very interesting is we still have no clue as to where this is connected.
Yeah, no idea.
We've come up with 3 different options. It is either going to be in the Arrow Flash universe.
Yeah.
It will be in the Supergirl universe. Or, third option, completely different universe. Since apparently the multiverse is heavy in the entire, the entire shows. It could be in one of those. I personally think the best one for it would be in the Supergirl.
Yeah.
Because you already have pre-established characters like Superman. It would make sense why he would retire. There are other heroes. It would make no sense to me in the Flash Arrow one because they're just now getting superheroes. Yeah. And the one superhero that they did have that retired was Wildcat, and they completely botched the fuck out of that.
Let's not talk about that.
But that's what I'm saying. That
just makes me furious.
Yeah. And then with Legends, they've introduced the JSA, but that was back in World War II.
Yeah.
They've led you to want to believe that, the Flash and Arrow and all these guys are just like that new upcoming thing, whereas in Supergirl's universe, they've made reference to Batman already, and you've already seen stuff for Lex and Superman, and I feel like that could be the best area for it. And they've already done connection between the two.
Yeah,
so
exactly. It's just an easier world to work with as far as introducing new characters.
Yeah.
So I think that Supergirl's world makes the most sense.
Oh, they also talked about it as far as this year's crossover was good. Was really good, really well done. But the biggest bad taste in everybody's mouth was Supergirl's episode really wasn't part of the crossover until the last possible second. They've stated this upcoming season, the next season, the 4-way crossover, Supergirl's episode will be 100% part of the crossover.
No, it's about time.
So, which I think is good. I had wondered how this was going to go because she's the Monday, she's the kickoff.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be the way they did it. It was very difficult. So
I agree.
But hopefully it'll be good, and I don't know. We'll see when we get the Black Lightning. I'm intrigued to see how that goes over.
Oh, God, me too. I can't wait for that, because I actually love Jefferson Pierce as a character, and Black Lightning's always been an interesting character to me.
Yeah, his powers are a lot more than what most people think they are. That's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, he shoots lightning from his hands and stuff, can do some lightning powers. And I'm like, his powers are lightning, but he has a large scope of things that he can do with it. Not to mention, people seem to forget that both him and Black Canary were highly trained combatants that were trained by Batman and Wildcat, and he is a high tier hand-to-hand combatant.
Oh yeah.
So this will definitely be a good show.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. I want to see what the costume looks like if they do it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm wondering, because he's retired, is his costume going to be the old...
I swear, if they can work in that Disco 70s outfit,
Disco 70s,
I'll be
baby.
so fucking excited. You don't even understand how excited I would be.
Like that, the white Harlequin.
God, I love it so bad.
Like that, because he's got he's got 3 really good costumes. He's got that one. He's got the more animated one where he's got the white gloves with the more angular Harlequin one, and then he's got the what was the more modern one where he had the really kind of almost gold goggle look to it, and it was very the sleek late 90s Justice built one. So I'm intrigued to see what they do, because CW has been doing pretty well on costumes.
Oh yeah,
they're pretty good. I know Flash is due for an update on his costume. Adam is due for an update on his costume.
It scares me.
What?
Flash, they don't fuck with Flash too much.
I don't think they're gonna do too much. I think they're just gonna like add a little bit to it, like kind of.
Please just stay as far away if you can. Is that fucking Power Rangers reject?
No, I don't think
they're
they're gonna do it. Yeah.
Oh my god, I've never hated a costume.
I think what they want to do is they want to kind of like add a little bit more stuff to like get it a little bit closer to more like comics stuff too. As far as like, because if you look at the Flash costumes, his boots are yellow. He's got the lightning bolts on the hands and the waist. These are a lot of things that have not, showed up on the CW Flash costume. There's a lot of like little things they can add to kind of make it a little bit more towards the comics, and I think that might be what they're doing, as opposed to just making it the full-on Guyver Power Ranger armor Flash, the Injustice Flash, basically. I think they want to steer away from that because they don't want them to be, thought of as the same thing. So. And then Adam is due for a full, complete, like, are they still going to stick with the suit? What are they going to do? Is the suit going to change? Because, like, Arrow, Spartan, who else? I think even Supergirl got a little bit of an update on her costume, too. So it's one of those things where they keep kind of tweaking to see.
Yeah.
Jay Garrick went through 2 costumes.
That's true.
And in one season went through 2 different costumes. We had the classic Jay Garrick, the Teddy Sears one, which was very much the, it reminds me of that Elseworlds, the Elseworld one where he was the French guy, and it's the very like
very similar to that costume.
Very similar to that. And then you get the Jay Garrick from Earth 3, which is a little bit more brighter and a little bit more sleeker. Kind of reminds you of the classic Jay Garrick mixed with the Earth 2 from the New 52s, as far as like color and suit wise. So, and they did Jesse Quick's costume too. So,
yeah, which is amazing too. Yeah,
they did a really good job with that. So I don't know. We could see some interesting stuff come out of it. I'm just intrigued to see what happens. Because they were very adamant there for a while that they were only going to stick with 4, and then next thing you know, there was talk of the Black Lightning one for Fox, and then Fox turned it down, and CW's like, "We'll take it, we'll do it," and I'm like, "You guys literally just said you were done, so okay, like, let's see what they got."
Yeah, it's they keep saying like, "Oh no more shows," and then like another one comes in, "Oh, you pulled me back in." Like they're gonna fucking keep doing stuff. They're gonna be like the superhero network, I swear.
And that was one thing that got brought up, is the term oversaturation. Like, is it gonna be too much? But I mean, when you got to look at the scope of their shows, Supernatural, how many more seasons does that thing really legitly have? The Vampire Diaries is done. Yeah. The Originals is coming back for another season, but we don't, because with the Vampire Diaries being done, we don't know how long that thing's got. There's that Riverdale, which I don't know, if it's gonna go. They've got the 100 still. Like, they've got shows, but their best shows are the superhero stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, the superhero shows are the ones that are, making the biggest money for them. And pre-established shows are starting to look not great. Like, The Walking Dead's numbers are dropping again, Which, I know, it's hilarious. And people want to talk about oversaturation of a thing. Yeah. Zombies has been oversaturated for a long time. And look how it's finally just now starting to hit,
Yeah, it's true.
So, I don't know. We'll see.
It's a new time, I tell you.
Yep, we will see. Oh, crap.
I think that's probably going to wrap it up for this 150th episode of Basement Fodder. We're at an hour and 8 minutes, but I want to quickly say it's been an amazing run so far. Mm-hmm. I said this on our 100th show as well, but I've loved every single moment of it. We've done some really great stuff. We've done some really bad shows. There's one show that always comes to mind where I swear we spent 2 hours talking about like TV previews or something. One of the worst ones we've ever recorded.
Yeah, but by far that is not one of our worst.
No,
the worst one is still Godzilla and God, man.
No, I maintain it's our best show, but people don't listen to it, and they won't listen to it.
No.
But I
and
love
then the
it.
one show that they loved the most that we were like, what is the fucking right state?
We did.
Parking lot
well, no, it was the Nutter
episode.
Center parking
Yeah,
lot.
the
but
Nutter Center, yeah.
I was reminiscing about that. We were up there for the Jim and Dan show. We
Yeah.
drove past the Nutter Center, and I was like talking to Dave and Ariel, and I'm like, this parking lot is where we recorded probably our most popular show ever. Because like I get more people that come up to me and tell me that they love that show than damn near any show we've done.
Like,
even shows where we've had big guests and like have done crazy numbers.
Yeah.
But that fucking Nutter Center parking lot show
Like,
is just a beloved moment in our history. So
man, that was because that was some pure adulterated like fucking
I've never hated
Sleep Depot
so hard,
ranting hate and shit. Like, holy crap.
But now it's been a great 150, and here's to a million more. So
Yeah, it'll be good if we keep going.
is it shilling time?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, I mentioned in shilling time that you have your own new Facebook page now.
Oh yeah.
Not just a page, but you have your own Facebook account.
Yes, I have my own now. I forget what it is.
Dave Basement of Doom.
Yeah, Dave Basement of Doom.
Yes.
So the Todd Dave
It's
will
mostly
be,
me.
it's Todd. It'll probably, hopefully, if they allow us, name
No, I
change
tried
it.
to. They won't do it.
They won't do it?
Yes, they
Really?
will not let it change, and it pisses me off, but I don't want
They
to get
used
into
to
it.
let you change the name.
It's been changed more than once, and they won't let me do it.
Oh, well, that's fucking lame. But anyways, okay, so Todd Dave is Todd, not Dave.
Yeah.
And then Dave, Basement of Doom, is mine. I took a few days break off of it because I've been getting a lot of friends requests from a lot of motherfuckers. I don't know. Like, Jesus.
Shows your popularity, my friend.
Apparently. So I got to go on there and, add some stuff, pictures, post. I got to, add a bunch of you motherfuckers for friends and stuff. Don't think I forgot about it. I started it and then forgot about it. I've just, like I said, we've been busy doing a lot of shit. So I'll be back on but feel free to come check me out. I'll probably be moving a bunch of pictures over, to it. You guys, if you have any questions or just want to chat, shoot me some messages. Send me pictures of your very legal but very hot daughters, nieces, wives. I don't care.
You have to start doing the disclaimer again.
Yep.
All right, so it's shilling time. Yep. So if you like what you heard this week on the Basement Fodder podcast, you can, of course, find us in a myriad of places on social media. But you can find us at our website, thebasementofdoom.wordpress.com. You can find us at our network home of digitalnerdage.com, which we will be proudly representing at the Lexington Toy Comic Con. Mm-hmm. You can find us on Facebook at Todd Dave, Dave of Basement of Doom, Todd of Basement Fodder, Dave of Basement Fodder, the original Basement Babe, the Den Mother of Doom. It came from the Q. The Todd Files. What else? My God, I'm just so many out. You can catch us on Twitter and Instagram and at Basement Fodder. If you're in the mood for a custom action figure, you can always find me at Titan Trap Custom on Twitter and Titan Trap Customs on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Please check out all those places. Half of them don't ever get updated, but if you really want to see anything, it's Todd Dave or Dave of Basement.
Yeah. And don't worry, we are planning on doing another It Came From Netflix.
We are. Came From the Queue will be coming back soon. We want to get moved first.
Yeah.
And it's been a long process.
And that's the other thing too, with like winter going into spring and stuff. Like it makes it a little bit easier.
We will be back with a vengeance in the next few weeks.
Yep.
And the Todd Files is not dead. It is just resting.
It's on life support now.
Honestly, I just don't have time right now.
Yeah.
But I will be recording soon. I've talked to Adam about it. There were 3 shows that I had to cancel because of personal shit. And like that's, again, why I wanted to kind of talk about the divorce happening. Because I want people to know that this is the reason that this stuff's not happening. Because I've got a lot going on in life right now and I just don't have time. Yeah. So as soon as I have time, we're back. We'll be back with a vengeance. We're going to be getting new posters soon. We're going to be getting new merchandise and stuff soon. Hopefully, if the webcomic does well, we're getting new comics soon. Yeah,
all that money from the stuff that was given to us to use for the game, we're turning right back into the show.
And I will announce that we're going to be at Free Comic Book Day again this year at Pack Rat Comics
with the game.
With the game, we're going to be at the next Jim and Dan show, which is also in May.
With the game,
we have some other bookings too that are a little further down the road. The Ohio Toy and Comic Show, we're going to be at that one as well. That's in July.
Yep.
If anybody wants to book us between now and then, please let me know. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be introducing a new thing with sponsorships here pretty soon as well.
Yeah.
So it's exciting times.
Woo!
So that's it. That's going to wrap it up this week. Live as always from the Basement of Doom. I'm Todd.
I'm Dave.
And until next time, the basement door is closed.
Later, bitches.